How many of us here in the XRP family believe that XRP is about to do something big? 3 times in history, we have bounced off from this trend line. First time, it was a 40x. Second time, it was a 700x. That was massive. In between, yes, we did a small rally close to 18x with the SEC issue and all the exchanges delisting us in the US. However, things have just changed. We are watching things evolve quickly. XRP is not a security anymore. More and more exchanges are relisting that, and the fact that it is not marked as a security right now by the SEC gives you all that you want to know. You're going to see institutional money flowing in. You're going to see even the Bitcoin maxes jumping on this wagon, and it's clearly about how they illustrate that. Look at that. They literally show you the fight between XRP and SEC, smashing SEC. That's something big. And when we actually look at how things are evolving on the ledger itself, the active addresses on the network are seeing a huge surge. Now, if you go through the fundamentals one by one, there is no stopping this. They're actually building, they're spreading the message. And if you look at how the entire crypto community is moving, it is positive. This is Circle, the USDC. It's showing you the last year, all of last year, was 772 million. Right now, the first half of the year is 779 million. So you can actually get the notion of how much money is entering into the crypto sphere, and that's just a stable coin. So the majority of use cases will come, but 100%, you'll see individuals like this who really would like to push in that FUD. But think about this guy for a minute, man. I mean, we now have the clarity from the court. Who let this guy know, he was wrong all the way, and he it's an embarrassment with that smile. Let's move. And now, when you go through, you actually see yeah, we have big news coming. But does that big news really sound big news with what's going on? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys learn how to become the next top 10 person of this world. Right now, we have an understanding of what the market is doing and what XRP is doing in precise. Whether it's on a daily chart, whether it's on a microstructure, as you do the analysis, whether it's in a comparison with a Bitcoin, whether you're comparing it with Ether, whether you're looking at how the market is reacting, the altcoin to Bitcoin side, the Ether BTC pair, you kind of have an understanding that, okay, all of that leads to one point where it shows XRP can do big numbers. Now, when we put in the term big numbers, it's not actually about the hype of $10,000 or $7,000, that kind of stuff. What we are looking at is a decent ROI structure, which we have seen in the history. So maybe it's going to be a 40x run up. Maybe it's going to be a 700 run up. We don't know. But if you actually look at the price action, if you look at things, we kind of get an idea where this is evolving. What do I mean? Say, if you zoom in, the short term is okay, we got a bullish sentiment. We had a bullish day. But just after that, you got a bearish sentiment. And that's being confirmed by the next daily candle. So if you zoom in, that kind of means, okay, that shows that the price action is about to go down. We may actually come back down to retest this level. That cannot be neglected. Now, one of the primary things to consider on that short-term scale is that this is a 4-hour candle where, one candle started from 0.63 all the way down to 0.62, and now you're watching 5 different candles trying to go back up to erase just one candle. So the amount of strength in the bear side on this short-term horizon is strong compared to the bull side. Now that is the short-term scenario. When you go on to XRP Bitcoin, you see a long-term resistance range which is active here. Say, if that's true, which it is, the measured move would be around a 350%. from that trend line. Now, this trend line is coming all the way back from December 2020. That means in these 2.5 years, the price action has shown you that it is coiling up for the next big move. So say that's a 350% move to the upside in XRP Bitcoin. What do that mean? I mean, if you actually plot that, you'll understand we are reaching an area where it becomes like it's the all-time highs, where it is closing in on big numbers. Take that narrative, move into XRP Ether. It also shows you we have been consolidating for last couple of years, and inside this, we've been trading higher for last 1 year. That means a breakout can be a 100% move against Ether. So whether it's against Bitcoin, whether it's against Ether, we are preparing for a run up. And recently, that momentum got high. The people in XRP community is increasingly becoming bullish. Why? One, all these exchanges are relisting it. Now, the major thing is we have the regulatory clarity. Go and look at Ether to Bitcoin. Say, we understand the fact that XRP can outrun Ether. So we first need to understand, okay, what Ether is about to do. There's a trend line which Ether has been following for some time, from 2017. That's a long time. Now, last time when we consolidated around this trend line, it formed an inverse head and shoulder. We had the breakout. We went up. But we've been consolidating ever since. We haven't yet reached that trend line now. So that means there is a possibility that Ether can actually drop against Bitcoin, or in other words, Bitcoin can run up and altcoins can stay slow for some period. That's why when you come comparing XRP to Bitcoin, there is a small shift. You are already moving higher. You are already testing a range of support. So if this stays, now you are going back up to retest the resistance. So XRP does look attractive. Now, go on the macro. Yes, we have seen all these big numbers. Great. What does it actually mean for us to do a 40x from this bounce? Say, if we actually plot that 40x, where would we actually go, right? This is being measured somewhere close to 0.3. So if you actually put that number, it is a decent ROI structure. Say, for example, you watch price at $3. Where's your average? So if the market is about to do a 40x, where is your average? How much are you really going to make? Why is that important? Because if your average is 0.3, great. This 40x means you also get that 40x. When it goes to 3, when it goes to 6, when it goes to 12, you actually get to do all those. Now that's just the beginning point of it. Why is that? On this macro structure for XRP, when you actually take it onto the long-term scenario, you do understand the fact that, yeah, these are the bottoms. You're connecting all these bottoms. You're not doing anything magical. And the price action does confirm you that at this point in time, when you're at the support level, MACD is crossing back to the upside, RSI is trending to the upside with a reversal pattern, the double bottom, a confirmation. That means, okay, now you have some level of bullishness at the support. Last time it was not at the support, which actually means you may actually do 3 to 4 times the run up we did in last wave. So if we actually plot that, we can say, okay, we may actually do 45, 50x run up, which again would push us somewhere close to $15, $16. Now, if we actually consider, okay, what the price action has done before, we also understand the fact that, okay, Fib levels actually gave us some idea of where we are going. Okay, this was like 300% off. Fine. So we actually get an idea what Fib actually does. Great. Now we actually use that tool again, and you see the fact that, okay, first time was 350% off, next time was 140% off. Great. If we use that idea and say, okay, we are going to use the same tool here to understand which direction we are going, and we say, okay, either we are close to 150% off from the actual target, or we may be 200, 300% off from the target. Great. What does that actually mean for the price action? From the bottom, how much are you actually running up? That puts you somewhere close to a 70x. Remember, we're not using the 300% from the Fib level. We're actually using 160. We're being conservative. And that still shows you somewhere around $22 to $24, $25 in XRP. That's actually a big move there itself. And if you now go zooming in, we want to actually see, okay, as we go higher, for sure, we are going to have multiple resistance. There is no doubt in that. People will take profit. You want to actually understand that. Now that we came almost close to this particular level, we need to keep an eye on this and say, okay, that's what we are looking for, the run up here, right? That's around $7 to $8. So we are on 350 billion. Yeah, $7 to $8. And keep in mind, the actual movement should be measured from the top to the bottom here. And if we do that, now that extends all the way up to somewhere close to say $13, $14. And again, remember, it's going to be doubled. 150, 200% to the upside. Macro, you have a long way to go. Now, if you would like to measure this, keep this in mind. This is the top to bottom, and that's the sky. That's the roof. It actually pops way higher than the measured moves. And that's historically been the same, whether it's that macro move you're measuring, whether it's the micro move, which you're measuring wave 2 to wave 3, it has been the same. So any tool you use, any pattern, any trend, you're measuring the RSI and looking for which direction we're going. This actually shows you one fact. The upside here seems asymmetrical this time. So have your exits in a way that you'll still have units. Even if it goes to $30 in wave 2, you still have units to take profits. So have your exit strategy set in a way that you won't miss. If it's ending at $16, great, you take profits there. But if it goes to $20, $25, $30, you still have units in your hand to use for that. Because the macro, as we just discussed, fundamentals, as we just discussed, all of it is skyrocketing. Investors look for this, especially institutional investors, the big guys. They put money into the market looking at the market sentiment. Okay, forget this shit. They look at the market, and before they jump in, they look for real opportunities. Now, if you're like, okay, I understand that fact, I'm looking for short-term trades as well. These are some of that. Say, when we actually posted this, maybe a couple of days back, we told, okay, there is a breakout possibility, and it was up 66% earlier today. And right now, if you go look at that, it's already 82% up for the week. Now, market does show you opportunities. There is no doubt in that side of things, right? We understand that fact. And when we actually go through this, we do look for different opportunities in the market, right? I was actually going through a lot of these different assets, posting, the breakout calls, and we were also watching the fact that when the market actually shows you it's running up, there are opportunities like this where you're like, okay, I'm not a short-term trader. I may take a trade as a position trader, maybe a month, 2, 3, I don't care. And this was something like that, acro, right? It's up 120% since the call, and it took 2 months. So if you're short-term trader, you're looking for something else. If you're a position trader who has, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months for that trade, now you're looking for something different. So always take time to learn this. Because in this, you're going to make money. Why? The market is just starting to trend higher. It's not just one asset we are talking about. We are talking about the entire market. Remember, XRP, yes, it's true that we got the positive news. We broke about the accumulation range. We didn't have any issue with XLM. It's highly correlated to XRP, 100% agreed. But that also broke higher from the accumulation. If you actually go into a different asset, say XDC, you'll see something similar. That's showing you massive ROI. That's a different story. But this was your accumulation range. You broke higher. So that's 3 assets in the payment industry. Now, you can actually go into different assets in the market and you will see something similar. All of these are breaking above the accumulation range. We've been following all of these. We've been giving you the right calls at the right time when people were saying you're going down. We were giving you our right thought process. Look at this. That's the accumulation range. You broke higher. How many of you guys actually had the call saying this is $100 BCH. It's about to pop. We had that call. If you go back in the date, you'll see that breakout call. Now, why am I highlighting this? right now you're watching one by one different assets in this market breaking higher from the accumulation range. If you go back in history, if you go back in all these assets where you have already seen something similar, what happened after that? You actually got the idea that they are breaking higher from an accumulation range. But after that, it retested and bounced. Whether it's the Ether, whether it's the Cardano, whether it's the IOTA, whether it's any asset, all of them did something similar. But right now, you don't actually see those assets breaking through the accumulation. Some of these are still in the accumulation, whereas some are breaking higher. That's where your mindset should be working. You need to find assets which are breaking above the accumulation zone, because those would be the assets which will be leading this altcoin run up. If the altcoin market is going to run 40x, that's the average. These assets may run 40, 50, 60x. The others who are still in the accumulation may actually run 20x, 15x. We really don't know, but common sense would plot the idea, look for assets which are already completing the accumulation zone and entering the markup. So if you are interested in that kind of analysis, that kind of thought process, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. Why? This is a chart which we posted way back in 2021 April saying when we reach the all-time highs, we usually get a consolidation. Great. So I was thinking about a consolidation for maybe 6 months, maybe a year. But yeah, I really didn't know it's going to get extended towards 2 years for sure. But we had the exact thought process, measuring the RSI, the price structure, the movement, every different indicators, and understanding the fact that we are going to consolidate here. We did that. But yeah, the time was completely off. Instead of a year, it took 2 years. We had all, now I can put excuses like we had the Terra Luna, I didn't know that's going to happen. And at the end, we got something like FTX collapse. All of those happened. One thing to keep in mind. What's the next phase? It's the macro run up. That's something you really don't want to miss because your upside is asymmetrical. Now, this is the altcoin market cap. That means some of these altcoins are going to run up. Some of them would be slow, but the average to go up, you will see some of them popping through the roof. Take your time, go through each asset, learn the TA and understand which of them are showing you a macro structure, bullish macro structure. Don't neglect those. And if, again, you're trying to get updates on those, you can look here, you can follow us. So that's it for today, guys. If you received value, please do smash that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.